It has been a while, and that is because I actually had a video done and set to go up, but I accidentally deleted it. So, yeah, I try to post about every 2 weeks or so, but sometimes stuff like that happens, and that's okay. The video that got deleted kind of sucked anyways. Another big thing that happened this past month is that a CA or superglue company called Starbond contacted me and asked if they could send me some stuff to review. And it just so happened that I was in the middle of this project, which involved a bunch of Kumiko, meaning I would need a lot of CA glue. So I'll get into all the stuff they sent me later, but let's get into the video. In this video, I'm going to be making myself a desk so that I have somewhere to do my online work for school. And I'm going to try to do some cool, like, Kumiko designs in it, just so that it looks, different. And to make this project, I bought myself a pile of 2x6s, which for some reason cost twice as much now. But anyways, the first thing I'm going to do is make the desktop. So I will be cutting a couple of longer sections from the 2x6s, and then I'm going to rip those sections into strips that I can glue together to make the top. And the reason I'm cutting this into strips before I glue the top, instead of just gluing the sections of 2x6 I cut together, is that one, tables and panels tend to warp less when they're made out of several small pieces versus a few wide boards. And the other reason, and the more important reason to me, is that 1.5 inches just seemed way too thick for a tabletop. So the strips that I'm cutting are actually only about 1 inch thick, so that the desktop will only be 1 inch thick. I let the glue dry overnight, and the next day I spent some time with my hand plane to take off any dry glue squeeze out and just, flatten everything. Kind of as an afterthought, I decided to add some breadboard ends to the desk because I just always like the way those look. So here I am using my router to cut a groove in both ends of the desktop. And next, with the groove cut, I needed to make some ends that will fit into the grooves. So I'm using a couple pieces of scrap and then just cutting them at the table saw to fit it. And I also decided to cut some angles on the edges of the ends just to make them look a little different. The breadboard ends were a little bit tight, but better too tight than too loose, so I just beat them until they agreed to fit, and then that was pretty much it for the desktop. And I would usually just wait until the end to apply finish to everything all at once, but I really wanted to see what it would look like, so I applied a couple of coats of polyurethane now before setting the piece aside. Next, I'm going to move on to make the legs of the desk. So again, I am cutting off some usable pieces from the 2x6s, and then I can take those pieces over to a table saw and rip them into 6 legs. And that is not it. Now I have to cut the joints in the legs, and I can start doing that at the table saw, but the majority of the work will have to be done by hand. Now we're done with the legs, and this is what each of the 6 should look like. Next, I needed to make what I guess you would call the stretchers, the boards that connect the legs together. And this is getting a little bit repetitive, so I'll try to speed this up, but basically it was just some more of the same. I cut some sections of 2x6, and then I ripped them to width, and then I cut the joints needed into them. And this time I could just use the table saw to cut all the joints. And just like that, we have all the parts needed to put together a sort of frame for the desk, so next you will see me put that together. We have the frame mostly put together now, so next all we need to do is make some panels to fit into those frames. So you can quickly see me make a few of those, and then I can glue those into place as well. And like I did with the desktop, I'm going to finish these pieces now. Moving on to making the drawers, I cut out a bunch of pieces to make the sides of the drawers, and then to joint the sides together, I'm going to try this weird alternative to dovetails that I saw on some older furniture recently, and I'm going to cut these joints using the table saw. And next, with the joints cut, I can put the drawer sides together, and I'm not sure what I think of these joints yet, only time will tell how strong they are, but I think I kind of screwed up on the proportions of the joint, but you know, we will see how well they hold up. Now to make the bottom of my drawers, I took my drawers over to the router table and then just cut a rabbet along the inside edge of each of my drawers. I used a bunch of scrap and cut them into 1/4-inch strips, and I'm going to use those to fill in the bottom of each drawer. Lastly, to finish off the drawers, I have to make a drawer front, so I did that quickly with some scraps. And this drawer front is going to be more of like a frame to show off the Kumiko pattern that I'll inset into it later. and now I can just screw on that front, and then that's it for the drawers. The drawers are the last part I really needed to make, so I could stop here if I really wanted to, but I wanted to add some Kumiko to make the desk look different, and I'm not going to go into any detail on how I make each of the pieces for the Kumiko because this video is already getting too long. But if you want more detail on how I make the Kumiko design, you can watch my last Kumiko video on making a shoe rack. But for this video, I'm just going to show you what I think is the coolest part, which is a time-lapse of me putting everything together. Like I said in the beginning of the video, a company called Starbond reached out to me asking me to review some of their stuff, and I can't really say no to free, so now I'm going to show you some of the stuff they sent me and try it out. So this is the package they sent me, and they didn't really tell me what they would be sending me, but I was actually surprised by how much they gave me. I was expecting like one bottle or something because, you know, I'm kind of a smaller creator. But no, they sent me probably at least $60 worth of CA glue, and they gave me a little bit of everything. So thank you to them for that. And what they did send me was they sent me 6 bottles of CA glue and a can of accelerator. And the accelerator was about 6 ounces, and each of the bottles of CA glue were 2 ounces, which is a lot. The biggest bottles I can buy at Home Depot are like an ounce. But anyways, let's start the review with the normal stuff, what you've seen before. And with that, they sent me 3 bottles of CA glue, and they all had different thicknesses. They had thin, medium, and thick, so you can fill in different size gaps. And honestly, there's nothing really special about these. I mean, it works good, but all CA glues are kind of the same. They all have that main ingredient, but what I did like is the variety and the price. Like I said, at my local Home Depot, the biggest you can get is 1 ounce. So per ounce, this is a lot cheaper. And also you can only buy the thin stuff there. They don't really have a variety there. I can get different thicknesses here and fill different size gaps, so that was pretty cool. So real quick before I review the other stuff they sent me, now that I have all my pieces glued into place with the CA glue, I can cut the Kumiko panel into smaller pieces that can fit into the leg panel and into the drawer fronts. And again, once I have those pieces cut to size, I'm going to use some more of that Starbond CA glue to glue it into place. Now back to the review, let's talk about, well, what I think is the coolest thing they sent me, the wood fillers that they have. And I've actually never really seen something like this. They have different colors of CA glue. They have like light and dark brown and then black for filling in knots. And I've used CA glue a lot to fill in knots, but what I usually do is I'll just fill in the knot with glue, and then I'll sand over it until the sawdust fills in the knot and hardens the CA glue. But the problem with that is that it will usually just ruin the sanding pad. Well, not usually, just about every time it ruins the sanding pad. And also, it never really comes out uniform color. It always just looks weird. But with this, you just pour in any color you want to use, and the activator, again, something I've seen but I've never really used because they don't sell near me. And the activator hardens the
like
glue into like a plastic almost instantly, which, yeah, I just thought that was really cool. I'll probably end up using this a lot. But, yeah, I really liked the fillers the most, but all the stuff they sent me worked really well, and, you know, I think you should at least look at the website. The pricing is actually pretty good, and the shipping is all free. And also, if you use code Josh Wright, you can save 10% on your order, and they will also kick back like 10% of your order to me. So if you need CA glue or you just want to support me, that would be greatly appreciated. But if not, that's fine too. Thanks for just watching my videos. And with that, all my parts are done, so let's put them together and see the final product. And I'm just screwing all my parts together in case I ever need to move this again. I can just take it apart.